Sound of Kings is our first project. It's a multi-speaker installation.
The idea for Sound of Kings came from the venue Star of Kings. I had an initial concept, which was to do something that engaged with the community with sound. We said that we could expand on that, and we had an idea to do a user-submitted surround sound installation.
I like the way that it came from this venue in the middle of King's Cross, so it was being approached rather than forcing ourselves upon some space, and there was that kind of nice initial lure to it.
There was a few criteria that we had to use, which was public engagement and an installation that somehow included sound. And then the submission of field recordings submitted by the public was something that came quite naturally. Taking school kids out was always part of, I suppose, the public engagement aspect of it. The school we had, I think we underestimated how engaging the kids were, and they just got it straight away. They understood.
As part of their learning process, to use other ways of stimulating their children for learning.
Yeah, mixed ability group, mixed age group, but they came from a music class. With the recordings we got as well, you imagine, traffic and the sounds of a city, but people were really inventive, and there were elements in the recordings that were either literally music, whether the pianos in the concourse that people are playing, or just sounds that had a certain pitch, and gifts to us as composers in a way. They led us to sounds we would have not otherwise recorded, I think. And also I think we underestimated what a vibrant kind of sonic landscape King's Cross was. We weren't making a comment by displaying field recordings purely, but that there was a narrative and we were capturing a moment in time.
The sounds kind of started to be quite pretty, or be about people's working days or journeys. It wasn't necessarily like diggers and machines, which we did get as well, but people having fun and laughing. We were at Red Bull Studios because of the venues, the Star of Kings, involvement with Red Bull.
It was a very useful exercise to be in Red Bull Studios. It was gave us a chance to set everything up and for a start to see if it technically worked.
Using Focusrite's RedNet system, which means we can have multiple channels and send sounds all around the room.
Having recycled speakers and sort of random selection of speakers as well, it had another sort of an analogy, a visual analogy for each individual sound. So each speaker had its own identity.
Definitely reassuring that people didn't seem intimidated by it at all, and they were just getting their heads stuck into the system and looking like they were enjoying that sort of more dancing aspect of the sounds dancing, and it's not jarring, it's not always abrasive, although there might be industrial elements in there, but it's more about you can make quite harsh sounds melodious and things like that without effects, but just by the composition. And I think people recognise it's a very human story in front of them and respond to that.
This was another reason to do the project, and to not have professionals only submitting recordings, or people who are experts or fanatics. And so we just wanted everyday people to use their phones, so we were really trying to work hard for the call for work to get the text across so that it would allow anyone to submit. I just found that when people came to experience the installation, you could watch them listening for their own recordings, and when they were in there, they could pick up on them, it was like transferring them back, and they were so happy to feel involved in it. All along I was worried that we were just taking things and not giving enough back, but actually just to watch one person's reaction to their own submission was enough.